Welcome! In this video we start The Haunting of Dale, a Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth campaign. So down at the table, this is a board game of adventure and exploration for 1 to 5 players. It is app-driven. We will be building a map on the board, taking Legolas and Gimli through this, is who I've chosen. And aptly enough, our campaign is The Haunting of Dale. Hopefully this shows up on screen good. So fear grips the city of Dale as a mysterious shadow stalks through its recobbled streets and across its sleepy farmland. Dark rumors are traded over candlelight. The apparition appears in several places at once. It moves through stone and wood as if it were never there, and its appearance always foretells danger and death. As hysteria climbs, King Bane, son of Bard, seeks any brave enough to root out the truth and put the city's troubles to rest. And like I said, Legolas and Gimli have answered that call. So we'll move on to this. For difficulty, we're just going to choose adventure mode so we can kind of play around and have fun with it. And then select our heroes. Definitely a lot to choose from, but we're going with the very popular 2. And I'm going with the recommendations. So for Gimli, we've got ring mail and a battle axe. So basically on this, it's letting you know successes. 1 success, we can do 2 hits, and Sunder is an ability. And 2 successes, and we get 6 hits. And the ring mail, it's going to decrease our agility by 1, but if we were to test those 3 to negate, we can test our best stat instead. So there are our stats. Of course, the higher the better. How much fear and damage we can take, and our ability after you perform an attack test. You may place 1 card from the test on top of your deck. We'll see how that works here. So instead of rolling dice, we're flipping over, cards instead. And those are going to be successes. And if we have inspiration, we can spend to make those successes. Go ahead and give that a shuffle. And I'm also doing the recommended role of Guardian with Gimli. So these 2 items will start and play. And our number 1 Guardian card also comes in prepped. And for Legolas, he's got a cloak and great bow, which is what's suggested, going with the role of hunter. Got his stats there, seeing that he's awesome in agility. His abilities is once per round during your turn, you may spend 1 inspiration to move 1 space without provoking attacks. And his limits for fear and damage. So his cloak, before you suffer fear or damage, you may spend 1 inspiration to prevent 1 of that. And then with his great bow, 2-handed, 1 success, we get 2 hits. 2 successes, we get 5 hits. And then the first one for the hunter, after you prepare the skill, gain an inspiration. And at the end of your turn, you may discard this card to gain an inspiration or scout 1. All right, so moving along, select our party name. We will be Party of Dale. And we're ready to begin. And with the Haunting of Dale, you arrive in Dale as the sun dips below the horizon. Sharp oranges and reds fading to the hazy pink and azure of twilight. Despite the young hour, the shutters on the buildings are closed. The only people in the streets travel in hasty clusters, their eyes glancing away from the deepening shadows between buildings. Even the guards walking the city impaired keep their hands on their hilts of their swords and eye you with suspicion. It's too late to attend to King Bane about the fear and rumor that lay so heavy on the city, so you retire to an inn for the night. Over ale and the warmth of fire, the rumors that brought you to the city are coaxed from the hesitant barkeep. A dread shadow, taking the form of a person, walks the streets of Dale. The people of Dale say it is a harbinger of murder, theft, and foes. You have come here to pursue this report after a good night's rest. So for embarking, Chasing Shadows, Chapter 1. I'm famous, the city of Dale. The hatred lies heavy on your chest, an iron vice around your lungs. Know this hatred is not a burden, it is an armor. One that these mewling Dale folk lack as their blades hang in the air above you, like a child hesitant to finish asking a difficult question. The mud in your mouth is thick, muting the iron taste of your blood. You pry the blade from your leg and lurch upward, plunging it into their old king's gut as he stands over you with his advisors. The other swords pierce your skin, but you do not scream, you laugh. The nightmare jars you awake, air flooding your lungs as your fingers trace and prod at places where you had imagined fatal wounds. The cozy room of the inn is warm and dry, and the smell of breakfast wafts from the kitchen below. The lingering memory of your fitful dream fades by the time a messenger with tired eyes arrives to deliver a summons from King Bane himself. The next adventure will be a journey map. So we'll confirm into that. Selecting our roles. So once again, Gimli went with the Guardian, and Legolas is a hunter. So the messenger gives you directions to the king's residence as you step outside. City is different now. Windows have been thrown open to welcome the cool breeze, while laughing children and fat animals play in the streets. Even at this early hour, people are everywhere. The fear of the mysterious and dangerous shade has evaporated faster in the warm sunlight than the morning dew that clings to the surrounding windows. So we're going to place a bunch of tiles on the board. So we need 202A. And we'll place that down here. Join the morning bustle of the city, melting into the crowds and listening to snatches of conversations. Place heroes as indicated. So we start here, and each hero scouts 2. No, shuffled the other deck. So scouting, we get to look at that many number of cards. And we may prep one of those and then put them back on top or bottom how we like. So honed agility. When you test agility, you may discard this to add 1 success, or if you test might, you may discard this to add. So we'll go with the agility, and we'll put that on the bottom. And over here, doing the same. Look at 2 cards. Ready defense. When you test and negate damage or fear, add a success and guard 2. Discard to prevent for a hero in your space. Or at the start of your turn, you may discard the skill to attack and add 2 hits. Or strike 2 when you attack, discard to add 2. We'll go for the defense and put this back on top since it gives us a success there. Simple piece of the city is soothing balm after the night's oppressive atmosphere. Each hero gains an inspiration. The stone and wood building is pleasantly practical, eschewing overt ornaments for simple brick patterns. King Bane and his council meet here. Place a search token as indicated. So that's something we can interact with. While smoke rises over a ridge, it is worrying sign of trouble, but poses no immediate threat. Place a search token as indicated. All right, we're coming that direction. 300B. So that is going to fit like so. And we place an exploration token. Alright, King Bane has summoned you to discuss the Shade. You must meet with him to learn more. Objective updated. Answer King Bane's summons. So action phase. Basically here on the back of the book, got a round structure. So action phase, where we take our actions, shadow phase, rally phase. Then our actions are pretty much travel, attack, and interact. And when we travel, we'll move up to 2 times. Hero can perform their second action between their first and second movements. So we can potentially move, attack, and then move again. Attack an enemy in your space. If you have range, you can attack a nearby enemy, which is in your space or adjacent. And interact with a token in your space. And if we forgot what happened, we can click on this. So that's letting us know which one we want. So we're going to start with Legolas, just assuming he's going to be the better speaker. First action is to move. We still have 1 movement left, but we're going to interact there, answer the summons. The thick gray streaks that run through King Bane's dark hair do little to diminish his resemblance to his father, Bard the Bowman, who refounded the Kingdom of Dale after slaying the dragon Smaug. Despite the physical similarity, King Bane's easy smiles and warm greeting make it clear that his father's grim nature was softened in his son. Tensions with the dwarves, dozens of reports about stolen and killed cattle, and now this Shade business. Be quite happy to have an extra set of hands at work. Thank you for coming. Some of the lords and ladies of the city don't believe the Shade rumors warrant trusting outsiders to investigate. They worry that if I legitimize the rumors, the city will be even more fearful and chaotic than it is now. I think they're all sleeping with their windows shut and barred same as everyone else in Dale, and something needs to be done. Still, it'd be best to convince them to play nicely with you. I'm holding a council this evening. One of you should attend it to show that you're not some rough strangers. The council will begin at 60 threat. To attend the council, a hero must be in this space when the threat reaches 60. So it's letting us know where we are now, and apparently something else is going to happen at 8 is when we need to have answered his summons. Of course, it'd help our argument if we knew more about what the Shade was up to. If we can find out more information about its movements, we'd also know where to send you. There's plenty of time before the meeting. Why don't you go out and investigate this matter to prepare? Consider it your first opportunity to aid the city of Dale. You exchange a few more words with the king, but soon other matters require his attention, and you are dismissed. All right, objective updated. Discover rumors of the Shade. We want to find at least 5. Some more maps, of course. So 201B. So that goes there. 206B. And that one goes there. And exploration tokens. All right, so we're going this way too, 302B. I think that looks about right. 308. And some more tokens. And we're almost all on screen. So the world moves. Oh, we're not done yet. All right. And we put some more there. Okay. So he'll finish his movement coming back, and that's going to be his turn. So then Gimli is going to check this out. So it's a large pile of clothes and other basic essential lies smoldering in a clearing. Appears some raiders stole these items not for their value, but solely out of spite. We need to test our spirit. We need a 2. So our spirit is 4. So basically top 4 cards. And we're just looking for the symbols up top. So we have 1 success, and we can spend an inspiration to turn that into our 2nd success. So we can pass that test. You're reminded again of the cruel and barbaric creatures that are your foes. You stride from the area ready for a fight. Become determined or emboldened, then discard this search token. So we'll choose determined. When you test, you may discard the spoon to discard any number of cards from the test and reveal that many additional cards. And then that gets discarded. Then we will move here. So we're exploring. Well-kept houses and diligently tended trees lend the village an aspect of optimism. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. So they're dual-sided. We just flip over. Cobwebs enshroud an old statue there. Our journey continues. In our second movement, we're going to go up here and explore. Judging by the remaining ruins, there used to be a shrine of some sort here with many storage rooms surrounding it. So we discard that and gain an inspiration. An urchin darts to and fro in her dirty dress and bare feet, rendering her functionally invisible to the people of Dale. Place a person token as indicated. And the ground roils and shifts between the surface, creating a dangerous expanse. So we get a threat token right where we are. And the journey continues. So we've taken our actions in the action phase, confirm that. So the shadow phase, fellowship is prepared to face the shadow. Each hero gains an inspiration. So he's up to his max and he's got 3 out of 5. Threat increases by 5. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Rally phase. Each hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So resetting our deck is just taking our discard pile and shuffling in. And 2 cards. Honed agility. You test agility. Yeah, we'll prep that and place our weakness on the bottom. And over here, two cards. Unyielding Spirit and Ancient Wisdom. Let's see. Our Spirit is a 2. Wisdom is a 3. So we'll grab that and put this on the bottom. So back to our actions. Well, we're going to start with Gimli since he's got some trouble here. So we'll search. The rocks underfoot shake as if to throw you off, but somewhere at the center of this quake you sense the answer is turmoil. So test our strength. If you're a dwarf, convert all fate to successes. Well, would you look at that? Gimli's a dwarf. And we're testing our might. So 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so this, we don't know what we need to succeed. So we have 1 success. And since we're a dwarf, we end up with 2 successes. You ride out the violent quake, desperate to maintain your footing. When the crashes cease, you're left with a newfound determination in your quest. Gain an inspiration or become determined. Well, we're at our max and we're already determined. Then discard this token. We'll see what... I hate going up there if we've got all these, but really don't have anything else to do. So we'll explore some more. Ruin has come to these structures. Somehow, only the common will survives intact. Discard that, gain the inspiration, but we're full of inspiration. Performer on the street corner plays a rapid melody on a worn fiddle. Does not sound like any of the other music in Dale. If they're using a fiddle, it's definitely not something in the world of Dale. Place a person token as indicated. Dale's renowned for its toys. Well, more importantly, my board games. In this open air market, drawers from the lonely mountain and the craftspeople of the city come together to sell their wares, creating a riot of color and musical tinkling. Children and older visitors crowd the cheerful stalls. Place a search token as indicated. And our journey continues. We'll finish moving there. And then we will move once, take a peek here. Brush aside the cobwebs and study the weathered features of the statue's face. Testing our wisdom, which is 3. Move these cards down here. We needed 2 to success, and we've met that. The statues of an ancient king. You had no idea his reign included this region. Lore increases by 1, then discard the search token. And we'll finish our movement by exploring over this direction. Wide path and crumbling ruin mark an abandoned post of trade. We'll discard this and gain it. Delegation of dwarves from the lonely mountain have gathered around a fountain in one of the Dale's squares. Whenever anyone strays too close, guards gently dissuade them from getting any closer. Place a person token. And that ends our second action. All right, the fellowship is prepared to face a shadow. Each hero gains an inspiration. Let's see. That will max him out. Threat increases by 4. The late morning light, the unscrupulous brigands of the city wake to carry out their violent work. Place 2 soldiers on the indicated space. Then our rally phase. Reset and scout 2. So Legolas scouting. Range attacks can target enemies an additional space away. That's definitely a good one to have. And that's a success that we'll put on top. And then over here for Gimli. See, a restless axe, start of your turn, you may discard this to add 2 hits. And since we've got a fight coming up, we'll take that and put this on the bottom. All right, we're going to start with Gimli. Starting with a move action, we'll move in this spot. Start an attack, so we can click down here and see we've got 2 soldiers with a little bit of armor, 6 health each. And second action, we're going to pick a fight. So our might is 4. And we have 1 success. But we can spend plenty more, which we will. We're going to spend 2, so we've got 3 successes, which is all we've got to spend for. And after you perform an attack test, you may place a card from the test on top of your deck. We're going to put that on top. All right, we had 3 successes, so that's going to give us 8 hits and sunder. So a hit sunder, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And apply. We remove 1 soldier. Can the enemy attack? Yes. So the soldiers drilled hours upon hours with their weapon, and their smooth movements leave no opening for escape. So we can test our wisdom to negate. After this attack, if another enemy group is nearby, become captured. No, there's not. So wisdom gives us 2 cards. We know 1's a success. All right, so we got 2 successes. We negate the damage. Then down with Legolas. He's going to talk to the dwarf here. Apparently they don't want to be talked to. So in that case, we'll go straight to movement and move down a space. Exploring an area of ruined foundation marks where a settlement used to be. Discard the token that's hiding underneath that. Nowhere safe to put this. Gain the inspiration, but we're at our max 5. Carts, food stalls, and shops fill this part of Dale. Insistent merchants call out to prospective buyers, and voices rise above the din of stern haggling. Place a search token. That's going to go down at the bottom. And we're going to get another search token where we are. Laughter and the stench of strong ale emanate from a leaning 2-story building that cheerily proclaims itself the Singing Oliphant, and in smaller letters below, Dale's best. The best what is not clarified. Place a search token. Journey continues. Well, we obviously want to know what's best there. So, do we get a pint or investigate rumors? I think Legolas would not be drinking, but if we had Gimli there, he'd get a pint, but he's going to investigate rumors. Tavern's main room is filled mostly with dwarves, trading stories and songs. The woman behind the counter waves you to the bar, and you squeeze through the press of muscled bodies to ask your questions. The barkeep hasn't heard rumors of the shade, but on your way out, you hear something curious. I wish I could convince Amber to join us, but she insists on staying with the delegation proper. Says she needs to tell King Bane her fairy tale about a shadow as big as a man. You ask the dwarf for more details on Amber's story, but they simply shrug. You should talk to her yourself if you want nursery tales. You may scout one, and we will. Light-footed, we're full over there. We like a success on top. And we've got another movement, or do we stay there for a pint later? I feel like he'll move on, finishing his movement. So that's going to be everything. And our action phase. Each of us gains an inspiration. He's got room now. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase. Reset our deck. And scout 2. We're just going to put both on the bottom. And up here. Put both on the bottom. All right, since we've got a call to action, we're going to go with Gimli. He's going to start with an attack. So top 4 cards. We've got 1 success. We're going to spin an inspiration to make that a success. And then put that back on top. With our 2 successes, we get 6 hits. Move a soldier. You or a nearby hero gains an inspiration. Then we're going to move back, and that's going to end his turn. And down here, we're going to take a look at this. Shop the market or investigate rumors. We're going for rumors. Crush of moving people makes it hard to stand in one place. Test our agility. I think we'll be fine. Agility's 4. We got 2 successes. Just in case, we'll spin 1 for 3. All right, the moment you ask about the shade, the conversation around you stutters uncomfortably. The stall merchant flaps her hand at you. Hush, don't draw misfortune to us and don't upset the paying customers. It's bad enough my replica chalices are going unsold because of some poppycock about a shadow being seen in Dale's treasury hall. All right, you found a rumor about the shade. With enough rumors, surely the council will be see the wisdom investigating the matter further. So we found 1 of the 5 rumors. Then we're going to start moving. So we'll go here and explore. The only way across this wide river is a crumbling bridge held up by waterlogged wooden supports. We have to trust it. So we gain our inspiration back. Place a search token. Something sparkles at the water's edge. And then on the wayside, you spot a secluded area where a hero might find rest. Place a search token as indicated. And then a ring of toadstools has popped through the earth here. Get a search token there. Our journey continues, but we are going to stop there. Our hero's gaining inspiration. Threat goes up by 4. Uh-oh. Someone touches Legolas's shoulder. Legolas turns to see the messenger from this morning. She flashes the seal of King Bane. My king sends word. The lords and ladies of Dale have agitated to move the council to noon instead of tonight. Someone must come at the newly appointed time. This gives you far less time to track down the rumors of the shade, but I will help. If one of you finds a rumor while your compatriot is at the council, I will carry the message to them myself so long as someone is at the council. The rest of you can continue your search. The council meeting will now start at 30 threat. Reset and Scout 2. So for Legolas, we're going to put the success on top and the other one on the bottom. And Gimli, I feel like that's what we got last time. Put both of those on the bottom. Well, we'll see what Gimli can find up top. So he's going to view the board games. The whimsy and creative warms your heart. Particular clever mechanical dragon even breathes fire. Gain 2 inspiration. All right, he's full. And then I guess he'll move over there for the next turn. All right. So Legolas is going to search this spot here. Pass into the air and find yourself safe from the world's threats around you. Let's see, test our spirit, which is 2. We're looking for 1 to succeed. And we got 2 successes. So we passed. Slipping out of sight, you rest for a time and loading your burdens of both body and soul. So we're here to hurry up and we'll go take a nap. Gain an inspiration and discard a wound. So this did nothing for us. All right, we are going to use our ability once per round during your turn. May spend an inspiration to move 1 space without provoking. We will, what was that? Ring of toadstools or something shiny. We'll move for free to here, so our second action will be to interact with that. All right, the sun is glinting off a glass bottle, which bobs serenely as it butts against the shore. The corked bottle contains a rolled scrap of paper. We need to test our wit. Getting a 1, that's not going to help us. All right, so we spend an inspiration to turn that into the 1 success we needed. You pry out the cork and pull the scrap of paper free. There's a poem written on it. It's very eloquent and has a lovely rhyme scheme. Gain an inspiration. Then discard our search token. We are not doing good at all at finding the clues we need. So that's going to be it for the round. Each hero gains an inspiration. He's got room. Gimli is full at 3, even though you can't see it. Threat increases by 4. Each hero resets their deck and scouts 2. those both on the bottom. And then Gimli. Kinship. Before nearby hero test, you may discard this. Now, here we've got some built-in healing, which I don't think we're going to need, so we're just going to put both of those on the bottom. All right, we're going to start with Gimli. He will chat, investigate rumors. Musician is invested wholly in their music. Perhaps singing along could gain their attention. Nice. Can Gimli sing? Oh, he's full of spirit. He's got a spirit of 4. If you have a song and musician card prepared, it adds a success. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we have 1 success, and we can spend 1 to get our second. And then put that back. Oh, that's not an attack. So we passed. Wait until the fiddler is done with their song, then pass them a few coins and ask your question. My man is a guard, and he was telling me about the fellows kicking up a fuss about being sent out to the country watchtowers in their latest assignment. Apparently everyone out there is downright spooked by something. The Shade's a good enough story for grown folk to pin their fears on, but maybe there's something more to it. You found a rumor about the Shade. With enough rumors, surely the council will see their wisdom. So it's 2 out of 5. And then he's going to move 2. Then Legolas is going to move 2. Confirming exploring. There used to be a prosperous settlement here, but all that is left of it now is crumbling rock ruins. Still intact among the other ruins, a square stone structure is covered in faded markings. Near the banks of the river running, Dale's fishmongers trade and sell their wares. Some of the boats even sell items from the faraway lands. Our journey continues. So we're going to spend 1 to move down here in our second action, interact. Investigate rumors. Wispy white-haired woman beheads a squirming fish on a cracked, bloodied board. If you want to talk, you will help. She gestures at the empty board beside her. So we need to test her might, which is 2. And we've got nothing to help. Well, there's 1 success and there's a fail. Raise a knife and prepare to swing, but the tutting of the woman next to you gives you pause. Not like that, too much elbow, like this. She beheads another fish cleanly. So that's going to end her turn. So into the shadow phase. Gain an inspiration. Threat increases by 4. To the rally phase. So we're scouting 2. We'll put that on top because we know we've got some to, tear the world apart with. There went the map. So that on top and the other one on the bottom. And for Gimli, 2 successes. Putting them both on top. Action phase. Gimli's going to move one and then start talking to investigate rumors. I tell you lots if you give me something from the toy market. She describes a toy seller's stall where a stuffed rabbit presides over a legion of smaller wooden toys. You offer a coin to buy the rabbit herself, but she scrunches her nose. The old man that runs that stall won't let me near it. He says I'm too much trouble. You become determined, gain an inspiration. Well, once again, we are determined and we're full. And then we're going to move. And then down here, try our luck again with the fishing, testing our strength. So we can spin 2 to pass. She selects another fish as she considers your question. The shade. Sound like my son-in-law. He swears up and down that the shade is in that old abandoned manor house east of the city square. He and some others were hired to demolish the building, but they're refusing to go near it. We found another rumor. Then we're going to spend 1 to move. And second action, see what pops up here. Let's see, we've got the faded markings. We will search. Try the structure's ancient stone door and find it sealed shut against all your efforts. Studying the faded markings, you realize they are actually an inscription that points to 2 nearby locations. There's also a word of warning. No weak-willed fools can gain the treasure within. Resist temptation and be rewarded. Gain an inspiration. All right, a round stone is set into the ground. It appears to be the entrance to some subterranean structure. Place a search token as indicated. That's where Gimli's at. All right. In the action phase, yep. Each hero gains an inspiration, or at least Legolas does. Threat increases by 4, so we're 29 out of 30. Reset our decks. And Scout 2. So Legolas will put light-footed on top, hunted on the bottom. And Gimli we're going to put both on the bottom. All right, we're going to start with Gimli. We'll take a look at this new token. Searching that stone. The round stone opens to a low ceilinged room just below the ground. It's filled with beautiful works of art from a bygone age. A cameo of a beautiful elf captures your attention. Gain an inspiration unless you choose to take nothing. Well, we'll take the reward and see what happens. Probably gets us in trouble. Take the spoils with you, discard the search token. And then we need someone to move to be there. And then, what was that again? We will move and move. That's going to be our turn. In the action phase, each hero gains an inspiration. Threat increases. Council of Dale begins. Is there a hero in the space with the council? Yes. King Bane is already present. He gives you a kind smile while you take a seat among the shuffling lords and ladies. Which hero is attending the council? The scary one. Gimli takes a moment to look around and get a feeling for the room. When all the rumors have been collected, Gimli must convince the council of the Shade's threat. Until then, they should participate in the council to aid their comrades or improve the council's opinion. If the council has a good opinion, they will be easier to convince later. While in this space, Gimli cannot be attacked by enemies. If an enemy would target Gimli during its activation, targets another hero nearest to it instead. Gimli can move out of this space if he chooses to. The reputation of both you and your companions are at stake, but you were the best option available for the task. Gimli gains the Sly Tongue title and may immediately prepare it. So Sly Tongue, before you test, you may remove the skill from the adventure to test a stat of your choice instead and Scout 1. So we'll get rid, over on this side, don't think we'll need the agility. Finding the rumors of the Shade is necessary, but you also cannot neglect the council's summons. Objective updated, participate in the council and discover rumors of the Shade. Hero who attends the council can participate by interacting with the search token. All right, rally phase. Do our scouting. I'm going to put both of those on the bottom. And for Gimli, Ancient Wisdom and Clever Wit, put those on the bottom. Okay. That's showing there's still a search token there. But we are here. Let's see. That's where the toadstools have popped. We'll search the area. Examining the ground, you realize the fungus has grown in an unnaturally perfect ring. Cause might lie under the center of the circle if you dig for it. Need to test our strength, which is a whopping 2. And we get 1 success. Something about the ring of pale toadstools gives you a bad feeling, and you hesitate to dig too deep. All right. Then we're going to spend 1 to move. And see what's going on here. Round stone set in the ground. Appears to be an entrance to some structure. Roundstone opens up to a low-ceilinged room just below ground. Plants have somehow been cultivated here and continue blooming in the dim light. You recognize one plant as being particularly useful in poultices. Threat is reduced by 3 unless you choose to take nothing. I'll take the reward. Then we have Gimli up here. All right, Council of Dale has begun alongside King Bane. Only Gimli may interact with this token. Interacting with this token does not provoke attacks. While in this space, Gimli can move out of it. All right. When all the rumors have been collected, Gimli must convince the council of the Shade's threat. Until then, they should participate in the council to aid their comrades or improve the council's opinion. So he'll try to improve opinion. Council of Dale does not know who you are or what you are capable of. If you improve their opinion, convincing them to listen to the gathered rumors will be easier. The council's opinion of you is 0. Nope. We'll try to listen respectfully. Lean in, focusing on each speaker, and consider the words carefully. Your tentative does not go unnoticed. Opinion of you increased by 1. And then for our second action, continue to improve our opinion. We will make a salient point, hopefully, testing our wisdom. Uh-oh. We need 2 to succeed. Let me get these out of the way. And we're not going to do it. So we are going to, let me see. Form an attack. Yeah, we'll discard this to discard any number of cards from the test and reveal that many additional. So we're going to discard the Poet's Heart. And that's not going to help us either. So we're going to fail this test. Input is not as helpful as you imagined. Someone else takes your fumbled opportunity to bring up an intriguing angle, gain an inspiration, but we're full. And that's going to be the turn. Shadow phase. Hero gains an inspiration. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase. Reset our decks and scout 2. Let's see, we'll put light-footed on top, tireless on the bottom. Put the axe on top and unyielding on the bottom. Oh wait, what was unyielding? Testing our spirit, and our spirit's pretty good. All right, we'll start with Legolas doing a move, 1, 2, and move some more. And that's going to be his turn. Then Gimli at the council, try to aid our allies. We'll try giving an inspiring speech. Testing our spirit. We need 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 2. We could have gone to 3. So we passed. Gossip Mill quickly disseminates your speech, spreading the most impassionate bits across Dale. You and each other hero gain an inspiration, even though we're all full. And then second action, prove opinion, hopefully. Going to ask a quick question. Testing our, oh yes, agility, which is 1. We're in trouble. It's only one way we can pass if we get the double thing, and we're not getting it. So we failed, but we gain an inspiration. Unable to squeeze a word in edgewise, but at least the person talking is making interesting points about the relationship between Dale and the Lonely Mountain. And that's going to end our turn. Shadow phase. Gaining inspiration, we're all good. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase. Reset our decks. Scout 2. We're going to put both on the bottom. And Gimli. Let's see. Her spirit's good. Yeah, neither one of those really help us. Okay. Up here, going to purchase the urchin's bunny. The old man who runs the stall shakes his head as he takes your coin. Tell that rapscallion she's welcome tonight for supper. She's been looking thinner than usual, and this rabbit ain't got any meat on it. He's called away by a customer before you can respond. And then we're going to spend a token to move over here. Or is that someone we already spoke with? We'll listen. Lore increases by 2. You may scout 1. Fiddler's song is intense, putting you in mind of a pitched battle. 2 desperate sides scrambling to live through the next minute. Your pulse quickens, but the experience is not unpleasant. It's as if all unnecessary thought is driven from your mind. Renewed, you leave the fiddler a few coins. We may scout 1, and we'll put that on the bottom. Then we're going to, at the end of your turn, you may discard the skill to gain an inspiration or scout 1. And we will scout 1, and that helps with a might. We'll put that up. And then Gimli. Improve opinion. We'll try explaining how we can help. Point out the strengths of your fellowship, slipping in tales of past great deeds and weaving in stories of clever victories. We can test our wit, spirit, or wisdom. Spirit is a 4, so that's what we will test. 2, 3, 4. And we're going to spend 2, so we can have 3 successes. 1, 2, 3. Similar people are impressed with your reasoning. The council's opinion of you increases by 3. And then I'll try improving our opinion again. See if we can explain again. Apparently we can, so we will. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we'll spend 1. That's going to give us 2 successes. No one seems to heed your words, but you know you must make them listen. Become determined. All right. Confirm. Shadow phase. We'll gain an inspiration. Threat increases. Reset our decks and scout 2. Yeah, I don't know where that 5th one is. We'll be lucky to get the 4th here. Let's see, we'll just put that on top and the other one on the bottom. And Gimli. Ancient Wisdom. And that on the bottom. Actions phase. We'll move 1, 2, spend a token to move one more, and then interact, give her the bunny. So you approach with the bunny, the child turns towards you like a plant turns towards the sun. You slip her a few heavy coins alongside the velveteen toy and pass on the old man's message. She gives you a toothy grin. Some of the farmers used to give me their bruised vegetables or a bit of soup. Lately they can't cause all their aminals. Maybe it's supposed to be animals are dying. Girl looks both ways and hugs the bunny tightly. Saw the shadow thing by the farmer's field. It wasn't eating nothing though. Found a rumor. With enough rumors, surely the council will care, but we're only going to get 4 out of the 5. So that was his 2 actions. And then Gimli is going to aid our allies by sending a messenger, dispatch a messenger. Another hero may scout 1. Dying Might. Oh. Keeping that up there. And trying to improve opinion by hopefully explaining better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh goodness. Well, use that to get 3 new cards. So we can spin that to get 2 successes. They're impressed. Continue. And we're now done. Hero gains an inspiration. Threat increases by 4. There are those who would harm someone simply because they do not like the make of them. Place 2 soldiers on the indicated space. That is there. Rally phase. Each hero resets their deck and scouts 2. So for Legolas, let's see, when you test, if you do not reveal any, we'll keep the precise strike. I think we're about to fight. So we're going to put that up there and this one on the bottom. And for Gimli, put both of those on the bottom. I guess talking over here, we've been everywhere else. So we're going to take our move, even though we have a range of 2. And then we're going to attack in there. So we're going to get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 3 successes, which is going to be everything we've got. So that's 7 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can add 3 more, but it's not going to kill it. So we'll just deal with that. Apply and confirm. Remove a soldier. Can the enemy attack? No, it can't. Doesn't have range. And then second action, we're going to attack again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 successes. All right. And it cannot attack us. So what can Gimli do? Guess he'll explain again how they can help. Using his spirit. We got 0 successes. So we're going to spend to at least get 1. And no one cared, but we become determined. And then we will try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 2 successes, which was enough last time, I think. Yep. And that's going to end our turn for this phase into the shadow phase. Each of us gets inspiration. Move to and attack Gimli. Gimli's safe, so they're going in to attack someone else. So they attack. Using agility to negate. So we got 2. Then we'll shuffle and draw 2 more. May spend an inspiration. Well, we'll just spend an inspiration here. So we negate the damage. Threat is up. So 1, 2. Ancient Wisdom. Put both of those on the bottom. And for Gimli, put both of those. Attack, you may spend, yeah, on the bottom. Okay. So we'll use his ability to move without provoking. So his first action is going to be attacking. So we've got 2 successes, which we can use for 5 hits. And then we're going to spin that to give us 3 additional hits. So we've got 8 hits. Defeated. And we're inspired. We have 1 more action left. We will... What did that do? Yeah, move there. And then Gimli. Improve our opinion. What is our opinion? 10 at the moment. aid. See if we can stall now. Testing our wit, which is 2. But what we're going to do is change it to testing our spirit, and we can scout 1. And we'll put that down. So we get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 2 successes. You only managed to speak a little before the topic moves on to other, more powerful speakers, gain an inspiration. And then request a boon. Another hero may gain a boon of their choice. So we will make him determined, Legolas. All right, we each gain an inspiration. Threat goes up by 4. Rally phase. Scouting 2. Put both of those on the bottom. And sly tongue. So we'll put slowed on the bottom. Bring this out, replacing that. Go to our actions. We're going to ask if we can talk to Amber. If we were a dwarf, we get to add 1. The guards seem hesitant to fetch Amber for you, but they can be swayed. Testing our wit. So 3 cards. And we're going to spin 2 to make that 4. All right, one of the guards beckons to a wide dwarf with a silver beard tucked into her belt. She comes over and listens to your query. The shadow I saw in the mines. Heard some folks in the Dale market talk about much the same, so I thought King Bane might need to know about it as well. Made all my hair stand on end. I just about could have used my beard as a lance. I seen it just yesterday, and 2 or 3 times more before that. You assure her you will bring her report to King Bane. All right. So now we've got our 5 rumors found. There are now enough rumors to entreat the council. Final objective, convince the council. So that was first action. Second action, we'll move. And then for fun, we'll spin 1 just to get in here. All right, up to Gimli to talk. Only Gimli interacts. We're going to convince the council. The council's current opinion of you. It will be easy to convince them that these rumors of the shade are worth investigating. Prepared with all the evidence you need, you present the case for taking these fearful rumors of the shade seriously. We can test shade or wit, but agility. Let me start over. Test our spirit or wit, and our spirit is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 1 success. But we can boost that by 3. So we've got 4 successes. 2, 3, 4. All right. Lords, ladies, and guild masters of Dale, lean in. As your voice fills the silence, quiet murmurs of agreement begin to spread across the room. Council is convinced by your entreaties. The heroes win. Each hero receives 4 experience. Lore increases by 4. Alright, Gimli was just in there talking. Legolas was going all over the city of Dale. King Bane pulls you aside after the council. Well done. You've comported yourselves admirably. Since the council has no objectives to your assistance, I'm sure none would begrudge you a small token of Dale's and my appreciation. He presses a plain but well-crafted circle into your hands. Circlet. Let's see, you have gained the circlet trinket. So increase your inspiration limit by 1. When you perform a spirit test, you may deplete this item to prepare 1 card from the test. So it has 1 use. You or a nearby hero may immediately equip it. Well, we're going to give that to Gimli. He did all the work in there for the council. Alright, you found 5 rumors surrounding the mysterious shade. King Bane has left it to your discretion which rumor you'd like to pursue first. Heroes will have their choice of 5 possible adventures. Each adventure expands upon one of the discovered rumors, and their descriptions can each be read before choosing which to play. Choose wisely. You'll be unable to pursue all 5 rumors. Alright, the Haunted Halls. Alright, here we are going to save and quit until we're ready to move on to Chapter 2. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.